Hi everyone, welcome to today's TRI lecture of Why Debate. My name is Jonathan Chen and I'll be your speaker today. Before we get into the content of today's lecture, I would like to take a moment to mention that Why Debate also marks the end of our first ever lecture series here at TRI. I would like to take a moment to appreciate and shout out everyone who has been with us throughout this process, whether it be people on our team or our audience supporting us throughout this channel. We would like to extend a great thank you, and we're very excited to see what our future holds. Now, without any further ado, let's go inside the contents of today's lecture. So, like the name of the lecture suggests, why debate? If you have been catching up with our channel, you would see that a lot of our lectures, such as warrants, refutation, or evidence, all revolve around the art of argumentation. But if you're not a debater, how can you use any of these skill sets to apply it to your real life experience? As a debater and a high school student myself, I came up with a few ways debate has really given me an extra insight to the real world. And those four key things would be critical thinking, research, public speaking, and knowledge. Let's go inside the first area, which is critical thinking. Before we talk about how debate really relates to critical thinking, let's take a step back. Have you ever been in a humanities class like English or history, and you've been forced to write an essay about a prompt you probably never prepared for? Well, I have definitely been in those shoes before, and I can tell you that debate has really helped me a lot in these certain aspects of writing and critical thinking at school. So let's create a comparison side by side. We've been telling you since the start that in debate, you're just using and connecting different pieces of evidence together to form a cohesive narrative and a cohesive argument. If you apply that to real life, it's pretty much the same logic, except for in English or history essays, you're connecting different literary or historical evidence to overall form an argument. If you use the knowledge we've been telling you in the warrants lecture, then it's actually really helpful. And moreover, in debate, you have to do weighing, which is discussing how your arguments are impactful or how your argument impacts other things, and overall just discuss more about your arguments. This is basically what the essays want in analysis. When you're analyzing an argument, you're talking about how this has changed. In history's argument side, it would be whether this event has been impactful or how this event has been impactful. If you can answer those two questions, they're very solid analysis inside your essays. Now, let's go inside the second area, which is research. So, have you ever procrastinated for a school project and then you're just one period away from giving a presentation, and then you're just wondering, oh, how am I supposed to find this piece of evidence that I need for my presentation? Well, I've definitely been in that situation too, and practicing researching in debate has really helped me be efficient and fast with finding things that I need. And moreover, in other scenarios, if you need evidence to back up an argument against a friend or a teacher, if you really want to make a point, having professional evidence in the back of your hand is also extremely helpful, which is why overall, debate is the key answer to a lot of things, especially in this context. So, while debate has been an event about persuasion and about speaking, it's still important to note that this event is still very heavily dependent on professional evidence. And by evidence, I mean academic journals or peer-reviewed journals from newspapers. It is important that in debate that we cut different parts of these evidence and then apply them so that we can be more just in our arguments and more credible in the things we say. This also applies to you in real life because the ability to find evidence really fast helps broaden your knowledge, while also finding evidence and learning how to navigate through online search bars and through online search engines is really going to be beneficial to you overall in life, because you can just spend so much less time than other people do about finding specific facts. Now, the third thing, which is a lot of people's greatest fear, public speaking. If I were to use my own experience, I would say that I was probably not the most amazing student in public speaking in middle school. I remember that I would just laugh or just fidget around and sway when I was giving speeches, and it was pretty horrible and it's a pretty bad experience. Here's how debate has really helped me though. In debate, you're encouraged to give speeches ranging from 2 to 8 minutes, so you're really put on a spotlight to give and to speak. And while content is a big part, persuasion is also really important. And when I mean persuasion, it means training your speaking voice so that you're not only confident to go on stage, which comes from practice in debate, but also you learn ways that you can be speaking better. For example, how should your hand gestures be doing? How should you fluctuate your voice? Or what parts of your body should you be doing to exemplify your voice more? Overall, all of these questions are answered when you go inside debate, and that is how it has really helped me. While you're having a more interesting voice, more people will be interested in what you're saying, and overall, it's going to be really, really helpful in your overall career. Now, the last area is knowledge. So, knowledge is a very broad term, but as you know, depending on which event you do, you have to debate a topic in every single debate event. And the knowledge that you gain from there is actually really, really helpful and really, really broad. For instance, Public Forum, which is the event I do in my school, in the past year has been teaching us about topics such as US policies, Medicare for all, universal healthcare, universal basic income, which was a policy proposed by Andrew Yang in his presidential race, and offensive cyber operations and cyber wars between US, Russia, and China. Or if you're interested in other events, you can learn about international relations. For instance, Middle Eastern or Asian politics, we had a debate about whether we should be extending arms sales to Saudi Arabia, or for instance, whether the US should keep its military presence or should they add military presence in Taiwan to deter China's influence. And moreover, you just learn more about societal demographics. For instance, how does the criminal justice system operate in the United States, and how does it impact the lives of different people? Overall, all of these things will broadly expand your knowledge base, and if people are into having conversations about any of these features or any of these things in life, you would always be ready to strike up a conversation. But something else to keep in mind is that there's so much more things that you learn throughout this process of learning about these topics. For instance, when I was researching the universal basic income topic, I was able to learn about how marginalized populations inside the United States were faced with cruel and inequitable acts in the system, and I was able to gain more knowledge towards how we should achieve global equity. This slideshow, you must be wondering, why are there so many famous faces here? We have Zac Efron, we have 2 Supreme Court judges, a presidential candidate, the Black Panther, which is the best Avenger, and Oprah Winfrey. What do all these people have in common? And the truth is, all of them have experience in speech and debate. The amazing thing about speech and debate is it really prepares you for not just college, it doesn't prepare you to just be able to go up and give a 4-minute speech in high school. Speech and debate is about training you in life. Whether it just be the critical thinking skills you get from in a debate round, or the people you meet and then the conversations you have about different things, it can really open up your mind and prepare you for a better future. At last, I would like to thank everyone for attending today's lecture, but more importantly, debate isn't about what you hear from lectures. Debate is about talking to other people and understanding their perspectives as well, which is why you should listen to our content creators talk about what their interests in debate are and why they joined. Please enjoy.
The reason why I love to debate is because I love the fact that we get to explore fun possibilities for arguments and then being able to do research to find nuances for those links and warrants, and then being able to show off all of your hard work during rounds. It feels like whatever you do in debate pays off in the end.
I was actually dragged into debate by some of my friends, but I grew to enjoy it because it helps me with a lot of things. It motivates me to work harder and also helps me improve at school, whether it be taking tests, giving speeches, or even writing essays.
Debate has helped my argumentation in both school and real life by improving my logic and rhetoric. This also helped me to gain understanding of the world we live in, as we research issues like societal inequities, governance, and economics. But most importantly, debate has allowed me to meet a community of people with similar interests, which is more important than even knowledge.
My decision to join debate was definitely very impulsive. I just signed up for some debate camps because I thought, hey, I like competitiveness, I like talking, why not? And I ended up loving it, and here we are. Knowing what I know now, I love debate because in its simplest form, it builds the skill of convincing people in a persuasive and confident manner. And that has taken me so many places I otherwise would not have gone. And if you're watching a video on why people have done debate, I would say just go to a team practice or even go to a camp. This is the one I went to. And maybe you'll find something that you love doing, because that's what happened to me.
I would once again like to thank everybody for helping us watching our channel throughout this series of debate. We hope to bring much better content in the future. Wait, no, that's so weird. Okay, sorry, I'm choking in the past. Overall, I hope these people's messages have really broadened your perspective as to how debate can be helpful. Thank you for attending today's lecture, and we hope to see you in future videos.